Happy Friday. Happy Friday. You are listening to the She Heals Radio Show on Awesome God Radio. I am your host, Whitney J. It is Friday, May 14th, 2021. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're tuning in on the Awesome God Radio app, thank you so much. If you have not downloaded the Awesome God Radio app, download it today. Amazing shows, amazing music, amazing sermons, ministry partners. Listen, keep Awesome God Radio on your prayers, y'all, because we are working and God is moving and we are just getting started. If you are in on my YouTube channel or Periscope Twitter, thank you so much. If you have not already, subscribe to my YouTube page, Whitney Hogan's. And last but never least, if you are tuning in on Facebook Live, thank you so much. Hit the like button, leave a comment, and share it to your page. We have an amazing show today. We have an amazing guest in the second half of the show, vocalist and vocal coach Dennell Gainey. Listen, y'all, she is incredible. You are definitely going to want to tune in to hear all about her and her exciting program that is coming up next month. Listen, I'm not going to give you all the details. You're just going to listen to when she comes. So listen, y'all, how is everybody doing? Send me some comments. I am... Oh my goodness, it's been a week, y'all. Not a bad week, but it's just been a very busy week, and so I am just super excited just to be able to have a rest this weekend to kind of restart some things. And as I was just kind of sitting and kind of preparing for the show tonight, I'm just kind of sitting quietly. I just did a minute. Sometimes we need to just take a second to let the week sink in. Let it marinate a little bit. And I was sitting here and I was just thinking about, oh my goodness, what Lord, what could I say about this week, and what could I share with my She Heals Radio family for the She Heals Inspiration segment, and God gave me this. Sometimes we just have to sit with things. And, like I said, I am the type of person that I'm always trying to press through something, and I'm always trying to work my way through something, and I want to work through it quickly. Right. So I will go, throughout life and different situations. And my goal is to get through it quickly. Right. I don't want to, wait too long. I don't want to, I really impede on the process a lot, because what I want is for it to be done quickly. Right. I don't want to go through something too long. I don't want to be too frustrated or too uncomfortable too long. And so I will tend to stuff some feelings, because I don't want to feel them anymore. Right. I want to just move forward with this thing. And I'm finding that that's not healthy. I'm finding not only is it not healthy, but I'm also finding that, it is impeding on my process to healing, because what's happening is I am so, fixated on finishing, right? And on whatever I'm feeling just being handled, that I don't actually go through feeling all of the emotions. And so one of the things that I wanted to share tonight is that it is completely okay to not be okay with something. And sometimes, I know you don't want to get stuck in negative thinking or anything like that, but sometimes you actually do need to sit for a second with something, and you need to be honest with yourself and honest with God about what your struggle is. How many of us have been in a situation where we have stuffed something? Right? We are stuffing it down. We are, really not tapping into, what, that really did hurt. That really did bother me. And, I've had those situations before when I'm like, God, why is it that I'm struggling with this? And God had to show me the reason why you're struggling is you never really gave it to me in the first place. You're not actually, you're not okay, but you are unwilling to admit that you are not okay. So what you're doing right now is you are stuffing those feelings. You think that you've gotten over that thing. You think that it no longer bothers you, but really all you've done is just suppress it. It's just like having that volcano with the lava, right? So the lava is in there and it is slowly brewing. And as it increases, it rises. And then when it gets to the top of the volcano, it erupts. And so you think that you have, dealt with that thing, but really all you've done is stuffed it to the side. And so right now it's brewing. right? And I went through this week because I was dealing with something, and I was in a situation where someone hurt me, and I was dealing with it, and I thought that I was over it. I thought that I was over it. But I had a moment where I started thinking again about that situation, and I was replaying it in my mind and what I would have done differently, and just getting upset all over again. And I was like, God, that situation happened months ago. Like, I'm sick of thinking about it. I don't want to think about it anymore. Free me from it. And he said to me, you cannot fully be free from it until you sit with the feelings that are there. So sometimes you do have to sit in that uncomfortable, acknowledge what it is, right? Whatever the feeling, acknowledge it and sit with it. We are so quick to want to move on to the next thing. But if we don't properly handle the things that we are dealing with right now, they're going to continue to come up. They're going to be that lava that is brewing on the inside of us that will resurface. It always comes back. So sometimes you've got to really be quiet before God, and you've got to just feel whatever it is that you're feeling. Sit with those feelings. That uncomfortable. And sometimes being uncomfortable is not a bad thing. Sometimes, it could be a good thing that's happening, and you just don't know how to take it because maybe you've been through some difficult things and you don't know how to sit with that good thing that is happening. And you're like, oh my goodness, I just want to get to the next thing. Sit where you are. Be fully present in the moment. Don't try to go too far into the future. Don't try to go and stay too far in the past. Be present in the moment and embrace what God is doing and saying right now. Take that situation, whatever it is, and ask God to give you his perspective on it. Ask God to show you your steps towards healing or overcoming it. But you got to sit with it, and you have to acknowledge that those feelings are there. Many of us are in a situation where it's like that balance between, the past and the future, right? And so we're trying to find, this happened to me way back in that day. And that impacts how I am today, but it also impacts what's happening to me in the future, right? Because how I conduct myself now directly impacts the future. And so we're stuck in a cycle. We're stuck in a cycle. I was on a walk yesterday, and I was praying while I was walking. I was just outside. The weather was beautiful. I just needed a minute to myself. And so I went on this walk, and I was in the neighborhood that is in front of my neighborhood. And so I'm just walking through and I'm praying, and I came across a cross section of a street, and the street was Yesterday Lane. Yesterday Lane. And that really hit me when I saw it, because I'm like, it's almost like you're at a choice. You can continue to focus on yesterday, or you can move forward, right? You can focus on the offense. You can focus on the pain. You can focus on the trauma. You can focus on the disappointment, or you can move forward. What has already happened has already happened. There's nothing we can do about it, right? I've failed at things. I've missed the mark many times. It's already happened. I can't do anything about it, but I can do something about what I'm doing and thinking and saying right now. So I can't fix what was, but I can work through what is and create a better situation of what's to come. But it requires me to let go of something. When we get into the second half of the show, I'm going to share a little bit more about this particular subject. But, oftentimes we get caught up in that one thing that didn't work out. We get caught up in that failure. I shared just on my social media page a while back about, when I was in high school, I sang the national anthem. I sang the national anthem at a field hockey game. I don't even know. And I was trying to remember, because obviously it's been 20 years since I was a freshman in high school when this happened. And I was trying to remember all the details, about why did I do that? I was a closeted singer. I was the person that loved to sing, loved everything about music at home and privately, but I was afraid, to sing in public. And I happened to be around and in community with some incredible singers. And so I was intimidated by all the greatness that was around me, but I also was a writer. And I loved writing just as much. And so, writing, I felt more comfortable. So I put more energy and effort into it. But for some reason, somehow, I asked and was granted the opportunity to sing the national anthem. I'm not sure why the first time that I ever sang in public, I wanted to sing the national anthem. That's kind of That is a song that even, well-trained singers can struggle with. But for some reason I did it. And I remember meeting with my music teacher a couple of times and practicing with her and making sure I learned the words. And I remember that when I got up there to sing, I was singing outside, in the stadium. And I remember that I got up there and they gave me the mic. I didn't have anything in my ears. I'm going somewhere with this. I didn't have anything in my ears. You need to have, if you are singing or speaking with a microphone, in a large place, it's important to have some type of, earbud or something so that you can hear yourself, right? But you can drown out the other sound that's around you. So I had nothing and I have this microphone and I start to sing. And when I sing the first line and go to sing the second line, I can hear me singing the first line, right? It was an echo. And so it threw me off and I could feel the tears welling up in my eyes. But I continued to sing and I sang the song. And then immediately when it was over, I sat down and I burst into tears. I was so embarrassed. I was so, hurt. And I was like, I never gonna sing again. That's it. That's all. And I realized, that's 20 years ago. That part of that memory is so clear to me. And then fast forward to, and like I said, we'll get into a little bit more of this in a little bit. Fast forward to the end of 2020. I just hear the Lord say something to me, and an assignment, an unexpected assignment is given to me. And then he sends the coach that I need to fulfill that assignment and to fulfill this part of my life that needed to be healed. I have been praying, Lord, bring back the dreams that I forgot about and dismissed. And Lord, heal me totally and completely. And so this was one of those things that I had to heal from. And so I remember I was talking to my therapist about it. I was like, I don't know if I want to go back. I don't want to sing because all I can think about is when I got up there and I sang and I bombed it, and I just don't ever want to feel like that again. And I was explaining with much detail, and I was like, I was so embarrassed and this and that. And she said to me, is that the full picture of what happened, or was that the narrative? Do you remember one part of it and that's it? Was that the full picture? And you're stressing yourself, and people probably don't even remember. And if they do, oh, wow, it was 20 years ago. Look at who you are now versus who you were then. Look at all the things that you've accomplished. So why are you stuck on this one thing? And the reason why you were stuck is because you didn't have the thing in your ear to block out the sound that was not intended for you to hear. What am I saying by saying all of that? Many of us are at a crossroads right now in our lives. We are trying to do what God said, and maybe God is requiring us to revisit something or to start something new or to go in a different direction. And we don't want to because we are afraid of the failure. Or maybe we've had a previous failure, whether in the same area or in a different area. And so we are afraid to move. And what I'm telling you is you're afraid to move because you have not blocked the voices of the enemy from getting into your ear. You have not blocked the people that are not supportive from getting into your head and hearing that negativity. You've got to cover those ears, my friend. And you got to focus on what God said. You got to focus on what God told you to do and just take the first step. You don't need to know the whole plan. You don't need to know how everything is going to work out play by play. You need to focus on the first step, but you got to drown out that sound that's not God, that sound that says you can't do it, that sound that says you're not like this person or you're not like that person. You have to cancel that sound out and focus on what you know God said and move forward. I don't care if you fail 50 times. I don't care if, you are in your 60s and God is giving you a new assignment and you're feeling like, I'm already settled in what I'm doing and going to be doing. I don't want to start something new in this stage of my life. Whatever it is, just do it. I don't care if you've done 50 things and you're worried that people are going to be like, oh my gosh, what is he doing now? What is she doing now? Do what he said. Drown out that noise. Trust him and trust the process. God knows what he's doing. We may not know what we're doing most of the time, but he knows what he is doing all the time. And if he has given you something to work on, if he is giving you something and you know it because it's that thing that I call it my 3 a.m. thoughts. When I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm thinking about things, it likely has something to do with something God has told me. And so if it's that thing, that thorn in your side, as much as you don't want to think about it, you'll just be scrolling on social media and you'll see a post that makes you think about that thing, or you will talk to someone and they're like, oh, shouldn't you do this? I think you should do this. It keeps coming back up and it keeps coming back up because he is right now ushering you into what he has for you. And you're wondering why you're not getting ahead. And you're wondering why it feels like your prayers aren't getting answered. And it's because you have not stepped into the thing that God has told you to step into. So what are you waiting for? There's always going to be some level of risk. There's always going to be some level of fear because there's an unknown. Do you want to live the rest of your life wondering what if? Do you want to live the rest of your life with that 3 a.m. thought that you think about, oh man, I wish I could do this, instead of actually living it? Many of us have the 3 a.m. thought, but we don't have the 9 a.m. work ethic. So we have the thought of what we want and what we're dreaming about, but we're not willing to take the steps to actually make it happen. We're not willing to put in the work. We instant results. So I remember when I started this vocal coaching journey, like I just expected that I was going to go to a class and that was it. I was just going to know how to sing. Like it's a ridiculous thing when I say it out loud, but in my mind, I just thought, oh, like it's going to take me like, 2 or 3 classes and then I'm good. Not realizing it is an entire process. It is not taking 2 or 3 classes. It is not taking 2 or 3 months. It is a process, and there is no time frame. It is a process. There are so many things. You're combating the mind that is telling you can't start something new, or that you can't do it because you didn't do it before, or that you can't do it like this person. You're combating your body of doing something new and going through the process that is involved. You're combating all the distractions and the things that will try to get in the way of you doing that thing. You're combating all of these things, and it can make you think that you're not in purpose, but you are in purpose. And if you keep moving forward, just when you think it's all over, God will get in there and he will turn things around. He will shift things around. He will show you that, yes, I meant you when I said do that assignment. I meant you to write the book. I meant you to write the song. I meant you to write the play. I meant you to start that business. I meant you to start that ministry. Listen, he will give you confirmation, but you got to be in position. And that is the part where we get messed up. The moment we start to get a little opposition, that is where we really come to a crossroads with God, right? Is God, am I going to keep moving forward and believe what you said, despite what I may see, think, or feel right now? Do I have enough of you in me? Do I have enough faith in me to say, okay, God, I know you gave me this assignment and I am looking at it right now and it doesn't really look or feel that good, but God, I'm going to stay in it. I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to do the work because I know that in time, what you said will come to pass if I faint not. So even though right now I'm looking and I'm like, I don't know, Jesus. I don't know, Jesus. I don't know. I'm listening. I was saying to someone like, this is my lane. I can write and I can do other things, but this over here is something that's uncomfortable. And I'm trying to stick with it, God, but I know what you said. I know what you told me. You provided what I needed. I just have to do the work. And here's the other thing. This is a lesson that I've had to learn the hard way more than once. There aren't enough gimmicks and confirmations and prophetic words in the world that escape the process. What do I mean by that? So many of us, I know for me, I do this all the time. It's terrible. Y'all pray for me. I get in these modes of I'm going to exercise, right? I'm going to lose these 15 pounds for good, right? And I buy all these things. Oh, I buy new, workout clothes, and I'll buy, whatever, a membership here, or I'll just buy stuff, right? And I've got this whole little plan, and it's like, oh, look cute. I got my cute outfit, and I got this, and I got that. Yeah, all of that stuff is great. I bought all these things to make smoothies and a new smoothie maker and all of these things. All of that stuff that I bought is great. It means absolutely nothing if I don't get up and go work out. I got to do some work. I can get all the things, right? But if I don't do the work, I am not going to develop anything. So you've got to just do the work. And sometimes that's it. Sometimes it's just picking up your pen and writing for a few minutes a day. Sometimes it's just singing to yourself every day. Sometimes it's going on that walk. Or it is, getting that, setting up a consultation with that business coach to kind of help you develop the thing that God has given you. It requires something out of you. And if you are not willing to give anything to it, how can you reap or benefit anything from it? You've got to give something to it. I know we want that miraculous. I do. I want God to say, okay, this is the assignment, and I want to immediately it be done. I picture it, right? I really want to, I want it to be quick. So again, I wanted to take one lesson and all of a sudden I know how to sing. Or, when I first wrote my book, I wanted to sit down and I had this whole vision of I was going to sit on my couch, with my nice little cup of tea, and I was going to write my whole book in a day. That's not how it works. There were some days I sat there and nothing came out. I was typing and it didn't make any sense. Or, it wasn't working. You know what I mean? It wasn't working. There were times where I was singing and I was like, ooh, that sounds horrible. It sounds awful. Or when I would speak and I would go back and say, oh gosh, I said this, I said that. And I would critique it. Listen, it's not always going to look or feel good, but you got to keep doing it because you will strengthen that muscle when you work it. Okay, so let's strengthen our faith muscles for whatever God is telling us to do in this season. Let's strengthen that faith muscle and work on the thing that God has told you to do, even when you don't feel like it, even when it looks like no progress is being made, even when it doesn't look, feel, or sound good. I want you to still work on it, because as we continue to do the work, we continue to apply pressure to that faith muscle, we will get stronger and it will come out of us. But we've got to do the work. You can't have a 3 a.m. dream, 3 a.m. thought, and no 9 a.m. work ethic. You've got to do some work. Stop thinking that things are going to happen overnight. I always say, do I want a microwave result where, you put something in the microwave and you heat it up and it sounds like, all kinds of craziness in the microwave. It's popping and smoke and all that. And then you take it out. All of that noise that is made, you think it's on fire. You take it out and then guess what? It's not even cooked fully. It's still frozen in some sections. It's still a hot mess, right? Or do you want that crock pot meal? The meal that you have worked on and you can smell it when you walk in the house. It just smells good and it's seasoned right. And you eat and you're like, oh, this was worth the 12 hours I had to cook it for, or the 6 hours I had to cook it for. It's way better than that thing that I threw in the microwave for 4 minutes. So you have to think about the assignment that God has given you, or the dream that you have for yourself. Do I want the dream to be quick? Do I want to throw anything together for my first book or for my first business or for whatever? Do I want to throw anything together and just, as long as it's quick and it's done? Or do I want to take my time and nurture and develop what God has given me, so that not only is it good and pleasing to God, but it will last. It'll be worth the wait. So many of us are in a process right now. We are learning something new or developing something new. And it is like, woo, Jesus, this is really difficult, right? And we don't see it, right? And we're ready to quit because we're not getting that microwave result. We're not getting that result that's immediate. Right? That immediate gratification. But if you just stay in it a little longer, increase your faith muscle, increase the work ethic, not only will you find that what God develops this time is worth the wait, you will also find that it is here to stay, that it will last. Your gifts and your talents and your dreams should outlive you. They should not die when you die. Listen, I listen to music The majority of the musicians that I love the most are no longer living. And I will play their music like it was, they just recorded it. Some of the movies that I love the most came out before I was even born. They have outlived, they are before my time, but they still are meaningful. They're still meaningful. I love it with Disney, how Disney will go and they say, we're opening up the vault, right? And they'll pull out something. It's nothing new. They're going to re-image something that's already happened, right? To make it more applicable to the current time. But they pull out something out the vault, right? And we get so excited. Oh my goodness. When The Lion King came back to the theaters several years ago, I went and took my kids. I saw The Lion King when I was a kid. Right? But it was something about it, right? And I love that analogy. It's in the vault, right? So some of us need to go to the vault. We need to go to our vault and say, God, that thing that's in me, that assignment that I walked away from because I was afraid, because I didn't think I could do it, because someone told me I couldn't do it, because I failed at it before. Look, go back to my vault. Is there anything in there that needs to come out? Is there an assignment in the vault that needs to come out? Is there ministry in the vault that needs to come out? Is my gift that I put there in the vault and it needs to come out? Is there a dream that I canceled that needs to come out? Go to that vault. Start asking God to show you you. Start asking God to show you what he put in you, because the goal is to die. Anything that is given us, the goal is to give that thing out, to pour it out, and that it outlives us. So go back to the vault. What you hiding in there? Were you supposed to be a preacher? You got lungs? You got breath in your body? There's still time. Were you supposed to write that book? Were you supposed to record that song? Were you supposed to start that business? Were you supposed to get that degree? Go to the vault. Go back in the vault and take out what's there. Listen, I took my sons years ago to see The Lion King, a movie that came out years before they were born. And they watched that movie and fell in love with that movie like it was brand new. Why? Because they pulled a classic out the vault. Listen, we don't put junk in the vault. The only things that go in the vault are things that we know have value and things that we know can come back and be repurposed. God doesn't put junk in the vault. So if it's in the vault, that means it's something special. And if it's something special, it needs to come out. And many of us are unhappy right now. And we think we're unhappy in our marriage. We think we're unhappy in our career. We think it's unhappy with our kids and all these other things. No, we're unhappy because we got stuff in the vault. And we can't be our full selves unless we take those things out of the vault. I know the process is hard. Trust me. I know you may feel like you're crazy for revisiting something or for pursuing that dream at this stage in your life. I know. But you will never be your full self the way that God fully intended until you get that thing out. So submit to him, submit to the process, go in that vault, take out that thing. Listen, take that 3 a.m. dream, that thing you wake up in the middle of the night thinking about, and put some 9 a.m. work ethic to it and watch God move. That was the She Heals Inspiration segment. I pray that you were blessed by it. Listen, y'all, I am so pumped right now. You can't really see it because I'm also a little tired, but I'm so excited to have this woman of God. Let me just say this. I always believe in divine connection. I've always believed in that. But then there are times when not only is it a divine connection, it's a divine assignment. I love when God allows me to meet people that are life-changing. And this woman is life-changing. She is beautiful inside and out. She's an incredible woman, an incredible mother, an incredible wife, an incredible vocalist, an incredible writer, an incredible vocal coach. I can go on and on. She's an incredible baker. I mean, goodness, this chick is bad, y'all. She is bad. She is so amazing. And I mean, we'll talk a little bit about what her and I have been up to. But I mean, most of all, She is a woman who is after the heart of God, and God is well pleased with her. He is well pleased with her, and it is an honor to know her. And I just want to welcome to the She Heals Radio Show, vocalist and vocal coach, Miss Dennell Gainey. Hey, girl, how are you? You are beautiful.
Girl.
Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
girl.
Put something. I did something to this part.
Listen, you are
Thank you.
stuck.
I am so happy to be here, Whitney. Thank you for having me on again. I
Yes.
appreciate you. I appreciate you. You are wonderful. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. You know, the feeling is mutual. So, Dennell, for the purpose of this show, because I feel like I can have you on a different week talking about a different thing, which I love because you are just that great. But we are talking all things music. So, talk a little bit about yourself and share a little bit about your music experience, and then we'll hop into other things.
Absolutely. So my name is Dennell Gainey. Um, I've been singing since I've been a little girl. I distinctly remember singing when I was 9 in my elementary school. My teacher by the name of Miss Green, if she's looking, hey Miss Green. I remember her pulling me out, and her getting me to sing I Know He's Been Changed.
Oh.
Yeah, at 9.
Okay.
Right? And thinking back to that with me, that was a big deal. But when I sung it, it was just like, okay, I was singing it. I gave no thought to it. It was almost like the innocent mind of a child. You know, you don't really have those thoughts that hold you back. You don't really have those insecurities really as a child. So you just do it. And that's what I did. And from then on, she put me in a lot of programs.
I bet.
I knew from then I just kept going. I went to high school. I went to Baltimore School for the Arts. I majored in vocal music there. I went to Morgan State University. I majored in vocal performance there. So I've been singing for a very, very long time. It's my first love. I say this all the time. God has given me many gifts, and I embrace all of them. But music is definitely something that is sweet to me. Yeah, it's my comfort. It's my go-to. Whenever I feel a way, you'll be able to tell by the music I'm listening to, because music can change your mood, or music can keep you in that same. Music is so many levels to it. So it's definitely my first love. It's something that I just really enjoy doing.
Absolutely, and you do it very well.
Thanks,
you do. And so, I was talking a little bit about this before, but the one thing, whenever you tap into that thing that was in the vault, right? You pull out that thing, it requires a process. And I remember talking to you, and we were talking about something totally different. And then the Lord said, she's a part of your assignment. And I remember getting off the phone with you and literally calling you right back.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is weird. But
yeah.
I didn't know you in that realm. And oh my goodness, when I had the opportunity to see a video of you singing, and I was just like, oh. Okay. Okay, she's not playing with us. Okay, no problem. It was just wonderful. And so, you and I have been doing vocal lessons with you all year, since the beginning of this year. And I just want to talk a little bit about that. What is the process for a singer, whatever level singer they are? What can they expect in a vocal lesson?
My vocal lessons always starts with a consultation. I want to know where we are. Let's see where we are. Let's see where we can go from where we are. It's always me pushing you and saying you can do it, and this is nothing. Come on, you can do this. It's always me encouraging you. And once the consultation is over, we go straight into breathing exercises, because believe it or not,
That's right.
breathing is the number one thing for a vocalist. And let me just tell you this. I was talking to someone earlier this week who is not a vocalist, but she does poems. And she told me that, I don't like to use a mic. I just want to, I just do it straight from, my chest. I said, that's perfect. And I said, you sure you don't want to use a mic? I kept asking, you don't want to use a mic? And she's like, no, I really don't want to use a mic. And I remembered in high school, Whitney, we sometimes had times where we were able to go into different classes, and I was in a theater class. And I remember them projecting without a mic. And I remember that, like, hey, you know what that is? That's the same technique. It's your breath support.
That's
your
right.
breathing controls the way you talk. Once you get your breathing down pat, I'm telling you, it would amaze you how much your voice would grow and how the change would happen. So it's breathing. Getting your breathing down pat is the very, very first lesson that I have with anybody, because it's important. We want to be able to preserve our voices. We don't want our voices to time out before we do. So it's important to take care of your voice. And I say this all the time. We aren't an instrument. We can't go get tuned up. We are the tuner. We tune ourselves up.
That's right.
We have to be mindful of what we eat, what we drink, all of that plays a part. All of that plays a part in being a vocalist. And I think it is crucial, Whitney, to be a smart singer.
Yeah.
Know your limits. And I talk about this when I'm giving lessons. Know your limits. Okay, today I can't talk to you today because I have a performance this evening. And if I talk, my voice is going to be tired, and I will not be able to give what I need to give at the performance this evening.
That's right.
There are things, and like I said, it's not just singing. It's if you're an orator, if you're a preacher, whatever you do, your job is to preserve your voice. And that's a big part of what I talk about in my lessons, because it's a big deal. So we do breathing, we do vocal exercises, we do agility exercises, getting that voice moving, which can be a little hard for some. We do tonality and interpretation, learning the difference in your head voice, your mixed voice, your chest voice. All of those things are things that are just crucially important, if you want my opinion, for a smart singer to just go far in life, if that's what they want to do for their career, and that's what it is. That's what our lessons would be about: strengthening your voice, teaching you how to sustain that strength, and just overall wellness of your voice, and teaching you how to sing properly. Because I believe that a lot of us can sing. But I think a lot of us aren't singing properly. And that's even me sometimes. When I'm like, oh, that note just came out like that? Where did that note come from? Like, even me, like, I can even say to myself, Dennell, you didn't put that note in the right place. Why would you have that note there? So all of these things it's a process, so it takes time to get to where you want to be. So that's what I talk about in the consultation as well. What are your goals? What do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? Is it just you just wanting to use your voice properly? Or is it you preparing for a single or preparing for a CD? A performance? an audition, what are we doing? You know, what is our goal so that I can do the proper thing and make the proper program for you. You know, I do a personalized, it's a one-on-one, it's just you and I, so that I can focus on you at that time. And we'll get you started and hopefully get you to your goal by the time the program is over.
Absolutely. And as someone who is working with you, I can say, you're amazing. You know, even during this time we're doing, you know, things online, right? Not being able to be in person as much as you would imagine. I just look at myself, who was petrified to sing in front of someone else. Like that was a very rooted thing. It was deep. To now, you know, feeling so comfortable singing in front of you. Actually volunteering, like, oh, let me record this when I send it to Dennell.
Yeah.
You know, that speaks to that safe space. I think many of us, and this is part of what I want to ask you next. Many of us may, you know, want to sing, but maybe we're afraid of not hitting that note, or we don't know what our sound is. What is some advice that you would give to people that are trying to develop what is their unique sound?
It is crucial that you don't mimic anybody else. It's crucial. I've done it. I'm sure a lot of people have done it, but we already have a Beyonce, and we already have who's another Stevie Wonder. We already have these great singers. Like we already have them. You know what I mean?
Here,
it is now time for you to develop your voice. I say to Whitney all the time, I don't even care if it's wrong.
Yes, you do.
I don't care if it's wrong. When we're working together, I don't care if it's wrong, because if I don't hear it, I can't fix it.
That's right.
Like, I gotta hear it. So just sing. It is important to find your own voice, because your voice, your distinct voice, the God-given voice that God has given you personally, that no one else has, is what we need. That's what needs to be poured out onto the earth. Like we are always looking for the new thing, the next best thing. That's just that's the world we live in. So it is crucial for you to be yourself. And I've had to tell myself this story a lot. Like, Dennell, you're Dennell. There's never going to be another Dennell. You are the only Dennell that is here, that is created. So your job is to only do what you know how to do, and that is be yourself.
That's right.
It is important. It is crucial for you just to be who you are. Go and sing around the house. Go and hum. Go and just find your voice. And that's another thing that we work on in lessons, finding your sound. We get to this piano and we just work on the basics, but inside of the basics, we find your sound. Is it a low sound? Is it a warm sound? Is it a high, bright sound? You know, what's your sound? You know, sounds, vibrations are powerful. You know what I mean, Whitney? Like, because sometimes I don't have to sing hard or sing harsh or loud for you to feel.
That's right.
The feeling in the music.
Right.
You understand?
That's right.
I don't want people to think that singing hard or singing powerful or always chest voice or, you know, is where we always should be. Sometimes it's not there. Sometimes it's in those head tones. It's in those quiet tones that really, really penetrate the heart of people. You know, when people are coming to a concert to hear you, they expect to hear you. You know,
That's
they
right.
expect for you to come on stage. You know, they expect that. When people come to hear me sing, they expect Dennell's voice. That's what they
That's
expect. You know what I mean? So it is crucial, no matter where you are, and singing wise, it's crucial for you to find your voice, and that's what we do. We help. I'm sorry, we. Well, I can speak in we help. It's just me right now, but I'm just saying.
okay. Just go ahead and speak that into existence.
I can speak it in. I do. I help you find your voice. I help you find where you need to be. And I don't want you going where you. Did y'all see this? I need everybody to go on my page when you get a chance and look at that video I posted of my daughter and I having a lesson, because I was taking her up and up and up and up. And it got to a point where she was like, no, I'm gonna come back down here. And there's no way I couldn't push her anymore. I couldn't, because she knew, mommy, I cannot go up any higher. This is where I am. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you know your voice. Hey, I can't.
That's right.
I'm making you that in head voice, but if you want me to do that in chest, I can't do that. You know what I mean? There are
Absolutely.
some tones that I can sing super high when I'm singing classical. I can go up, I can get up there, but don't you come to me and ask me to sing that in chest voice. You're gonna be totally upset. You're gonna be upset with me because it's going to be bad. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that you have to know that's important as a vocalist, and finding your voice is important.
Absolutely. One of the things that I love, we always joke, is you'll say, okay, we're gonna go a little bit higher. And I'm like, no, we're not. No, we're not. But the one thing I will, just from being on the other side, being your student, the one thing that I realize is sometimes you just got to take that risk.
You have to.
And a lot of times when I would tell you, no, I can't do that. And you would say, well, just do it. And then I would try it. And there were days that I tried it and maybe I didn't get it. And then there were days that I tried it and I did it. And so, I think it's important that you also take appropriate risk, because we may think, well, I only can sing like this, but maybe it's just that we haven't strengthened that muscle yet.
Come on, Whitney. I talk about that.
Yes, I got it from you.
Whitney. Let me just tell you a little story about strengthening your muscle. So, like I said, I have been singing for years, Whitney. I mean, over 10 years singing professionally, And when I say professionally, I mean knowing, how to sing, like being taught how to sing. Okay. So I've been singing and doing that for years. And in and out of those years, I've had children, and I haven't been as diligent with my practices as I used to be. Okay. So there were times with me where I know for sure that I've hit that note before and it wouldn't come out. And I'm like, hold on. I know that I've hit that note before. Why isn't it not coming out? And it was because I hadn't been practicing like I was practicing. It goes along with, even if you're a new singer like you were, Whitney, how long had it been, Whitney, since you sang?
20 years.
20.
Not exaggerate.
Years.
20
years.
Yeah.
But it's something that it like clicks. Something clicks in your body. It's like, oh, okay, here we go. We are now we're here. Now here we go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something is there that makes it easy for you to like get back into the game. You know what I mean? So once I started practicing again and placement and realizing I was like, I knew I could hit that note. Well, But it was just that you were in the vault. You had to go and get yourself out the vault so that now we could pour out. This is my thing. This pour out onto the earth is just big to me. I just believe in it. I just believe that we are here to pour out onto the earth. That as long as you have breath in your body, you are here for a purpose. So I had to go get myself out the vault, and I had to get myself back together and back to where I knew I needed to be. You know, it was having a baby puts stress on your body, and I've had 7. So, you know, the stress just keeps piling up. And it's like your stomach muscles. You know what I mean? You have to work those things back together. You got to work your body back into shape. You got to work your voice back into shape. It's still there.
That's right.
Singers out there, it's still there. You just have to work it back into shape. That's important.
You are so right. And not only is it still there, it may be more there than what you thought.
For sure.
You know, sometimes we limit ourselves, and guys like, oh, I got a whole bunch of stuff in there. You just you thought you could sing like this, but I've given you, you know, even more than that. So I think, like you said, doing the work is important. And one of the things I always say is you should be a student of your gift, regardless of what it is.
Yeah.
We should always be a student of our gift and our craft. I don't care how successful we may be, we should always be a student. So with that being said, you have this amazing vocal coaching program that is starting in June. So let's talk a little bit about it and what people can expect.
My vocal program is called Vocal Gains, and I like that name. I just want to say that.
Yes.
It is called Vocal Gains, and it's a 6-week program in June. And I just want you to know that it doesn't have to stop. It doesn't have to stop for you in June. It can continue to go further than June. No. Sorry, child. I do apologize.
Oh, it is fine.
But it's a 6-week program that's happening in June that will hopefully help you gain whatever your vocal gains are. That's the purpose of the 6-week program. So you come to me and you tell me what you want to get out of the program. And like I said, it's not just vocalists coming to this program. I have a poet coming to the program because she just wants to be able to use her voice properly.
Right.
You gotta just be able to use your voice properly. You know, it's important. So it's a 6-week program that will focus on vocal techniques. It will focus on learning your voice. It will focus on understanding how to use your voice. And my favorite is going to teach you how to take care of your voice, what to drink, how much of it to drink, how to talk, when not to talk.
That's right.
Learning that your vocal cords are paper thin. They're paper thin. So when you holler or do something that is a bit damp, hollering and laughing or talking loud makes your vocal cords just like smash together like cymbals, like crash cymbals. And when too much of that happens, we become hoarse. We have a sore throat. We sometimes get nodules on our throat when our throat is not being used properly. The main point of your throat is for you to use it to speak, for you to use it to talk, but the air flows through it. The air is meant to flow through it, and that's how you're able to talk, because your air is flowing through your voice box. Okay. So we don't want it to jolt it. We don't want it to smash together. It's just that is important. I know I keep saying that it's important, but it really, really
It
is.
is. It is.
It's just, I wanna be a longevity singer. I wanna be, um, um, what is she's leaving? I wanna be Gladys Knight. I wanna be that singer,
Yes.
who can Shaka Khan can still hit the. She's still singing high up there. I want to be along Patty LaBelle. These people,
In their
they
70s. In
hey,
their
and
70s.
their voices are flawless. Like, it's just important. So the 6 week program will go over what you would want from me. I would ask you what your desire is from me. What would you want in this 6 week program? And then after it's over, I encourage you, of course, to stick it out as long as you desire. I am here for you as long as you desire for me to be here for you. So that 6 week program is just kind of a jump start, to a person's well-being. Well, not well-being, vocal gain. What they want to gain. It's just a jump start. And if they want to stick around in the program for longer than that, I would absolutely encourage that. But if you got what you needed in that 6 weeks, that's just fine. That's just fine. You know what I mean? But I think that the 6 week program is definitely important for people who are just maybe want to get back into it, or never done it before, and they say, hey, let's take a shot at it. It'll be a good jump start. I'm a nice person.
Yes.
I'm pretty nice. I'm also pretty honest. And I let you know, hey, we got some work to do, or hey, this is where you are. Let's move. I tell you, I put you in the place where I wanna help you.
That's right.
So the 6 week program is just to help. It's just to help you get better at your craft. It is.
Absolutely. It is absolutely wonderful. Like I said, as someone who had no confidence and all fear, 6 weeks will not do it justice. I'm telling you, you will get with her and you're like, oh, we're stuck together. We are stuck together. But listen, if you are a singer, if God has given you the gift of song, and because right now you're feeling convicted, right? It's all up in your stomach right
It
now.
is. It has to be a conviction.
Just this is an excellent opportunity for you to just get started. And here's the thing, one goal at a time. So maybe it is to find your voice. Maybe it is to, get back into the swing of singing. Whatever it is that you try, just start and allow God to do the rest.
Start.
I had to say to Jim many times, I'm overthinking this.
Yeah.
I'm overthinking it. I need to slow down one step at a time. God, what are you saying? And I'm seeing the results. I am finally hearing a sound that I like, and I'm starting to learn who I am as a singer and learn what I like, how I sound, and maybe I do like singing like this, or maybe I want to push myself to learn something, else. So it's a great program. In order for you to be able to reach Dennell, I have already put in the comment section her Instagram. It's really Dennell. Dennell is spelled Dennell, just in case you are listening and can't see our live. Also, you can reach her on Facebook. I've already tagged her in the live, so you can send her, a DM. Reach out to her immediately. Get started while there are still slots available.
Oh, we are filling up.
Yes, do it today.
We are filling, hallelujah. We are filling up. The Lord is really, really blessing. He really, really is. And we are definitely filling up. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it.
Yes, your life will not be the same. I'm telling you, you will be blessed by her. Dennell, I just want to thank you so much for being on the She Heals Radio Show yet again, for being an incredible woman, an incredible friend, and an incredible vocal coach. I so
with me.
And I'm excited for whatever God is doing in this season.
I am too. I am too.
So again, we are talking to Dennell Gainey. If you want to join her vocal coaching program that starts in June, you want to join it, y'all. Follow her on Instagram. It's really Dennell. Reach out to her on Facebook, Dennell Gainey. Send her a DM and let's get started. I want to shout out my super producer, Quincy. Thanks for always keeping the show tight. Thank you to my awesome God Radio family, for everybody that listens. Listen, God has a voice in you that He is ready to use. Just say yes, He will do the rest. In closing, she thinks, she feels, she prays, she cries, she trusts, she does the work, she finds her voice, and ultimately, He heals.
Yes.
This is the She Heals Radio Show with your host, Whitney J. Take care. We will see you back here next Friday. Take care and God bless.
God bless.
One second. Oh.